Welcome to the very first Own Your Eating podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Roz.
So we have the live video going for those of you watching it on YouTube. We're on iTunes and Stitcher and all that good stuff. If you're listening to it in your car or on a run. I don't know if you'd want to listen to us on a run.
Yeah, I would. Why not? I used to like listening to podcasts when I was running.
First of all, I don't like running. So maybe that's just it. But also,
no, if you're doing any long distance training, trust me, listening to music, it gets to a point where it just starts driving you crazy.
Really?
Me personally, anyway. So I actually enjoyed listening to podcasts and what have you on the radio.
I'm going to take your word for it because I'm never going to do long distance training.
One day you will. I'm going to make you. I'm going to make you run a half marathon.
You just said I smelled. Do I smell?
Yes.
I showered last night.
And I'm telling you, you did not use the soap properly.
How do you improperly use soap? I had soap in my hand.
You told me you're 39 years old.
I'm 38, first of all.
39 soon.
Yeah, but not yet. That's like saying you're 40.
Okay.
You're not 40. Oh, that's big. What are you gonna get me from? But why did you get me a bar of soap for my birthday?
I probably will.
We have tons of soap. You know what? I got in first of all after you, and you left me a sliver. I
use the squeezy bottle, the Dove.
I don't like to use it. I feel like I use so much of it when I do that. And a loofah. You use the loofah?
Not last night.
You just put the squeezy bottle stuff in your hands and
lather myself up. Yeah.
Picturing that as so,
anyway, massive tangent there.
But what are you gonna get me for my birthday?
A better bar of soap.
I don't want soap. One time my uncle, when I was a kid, got me a bar of deodorant.
Did he really?
My father's brother.
Like as a serious gift?
Yeah.
Was he trying to tell you something?
It was oatmeal from earlier that I just ate. No, he was just, that was the kind of sense of humor he had. So he was like, here's a bar. Like I was probably like going through puberty, like 12, 13, whatever.
Hysterical when you're a teenager.
And I was like,
to receive a gift like that.
And you know, when you're like looking forward to something
like
real.
Self-conscious and
I didn't care about that. I just was mad I didn't get a real present.
Oh.
So anyway, this is our very first Own Your Eating podcast, and I think it would be a great opportunity to kind of dive into who we are. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're on our blog or on our website, I should say, ownyoureating.com, there's a whole about us, our story section, obviously.
Yeah. Together,
engaged, whatnot.
Yeah.
But let's get people to understand who we are a little better, because I think the misconception is, well, these two guys just, you know, they got it all with their nutrition. Like, they never struggled. You know, they just are lean or skinny or whatever words they're using to describe us. And I can say that couldn't be farther from the truth for me. Mm-hmm. You know, and
it's definitely true for me too.
I know. All you have to do is go look at that.
The picture I have up of me from back in my college years, Jay finds it very disturbing.
I'm not disturbed.
He's like, you're not allowed to get like that.
Look, you're still attractive. You're just, I'm
very curvy.
I think, right, you're curvy. I think I've only known you lean and skinny. So, you know, it doesn't come as a surprise that people think that of us because they don't know us.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's definitely something I used to find myself thinking when I used to see other beautiful women on the beach. Like, oh, you know, they must just have great genes and they're so lucky. I'll never be that way. And I truly, believed that and told myself that because I thought I was taking good care of myself. I thought I was eating healthy and doing the things I should be doing. I mean, I was beating my body up every day, working out, sometimes twice a day, doing long runs, CrossFit, what have you. And I wasn't getting any results. When I looked in the mirror, I was still unhappy with what I saw. And so And flexible eating really changed my life.
So let's do this. If you're listening to the podcast, you're watching it, go to our site, ownyoureating.com/our-story.
/
Is that a /?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Forward, going that way.
Okay, ownyoureating.com /our-story, or it's just right in the header there. Read Roz's bio, pause this for a moment, read it. And here's what I want you to do right now, Roz. Tell us something that's not in that story.
Something that's not in the story.
And I'll do the same.
Trying to remember what's in there.
You wrote that that took you like 8 hours to write.
It was from the heart.
It was. You're very...
I'm very meticulous with
detail.
That's
a good word, yeah. And I'm not.
It's hard.
I'm just like, it's good. Mine's like the grammar, I don't care.
You know what? It was funny because when I started writing the story, I thought this is going to take me a couple hours max. And I started writing and I was like, wow, I actually have a story. Like, I feel like I have a lot that I want to share. And everything I've experienced, I'm sure there's little bits here and there that people can relate to.
I learned a lot. I forget you used to smoke cigarettes.
Oh, God, yeah. Smoking. Wow.
I mean, we would not be together. I could never date or be with someone that smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think. You're so healthy now.
I honestly can't even believe that. I really just cannot stand them anymore. I can't stand the smell, like nothing.
I've never touched a cigarette.
If you smoke, I'm sorry, but I'm probably gonna leave the room if you're near me.
Yeah, I can't be around.
Do you know what? So when I was in Bali last year, I went and I did this 3-day hike in oh my God, I can't even remember the name of the island now. Lombok. So I went and climbed this volcano there, and I was with a group of two couples, so just me, little Miss Single.
The fifth wheel,
with 2 couples, and they all smoked. And I thought this was the most hysterical thing. We were in the most gorgeous landscape you could envisage, just out in the wilderness, soaking up all this, this beautiful environment. It was so invigorating. And then every time we stopped for a rest, I was being choked out by clouds of cigarette smoke because of these jokers that I was with. But, I had a great time because clearly I was at the front of the pack the whole way.
Right. The worst
My lungs could handle it.
We're over at the box down the road, North Naples CrossFit, and it's adjacent to a bar, and they step outside to smoke. Yeah. Right in front of the doors. It's crazy.
And it wafts into the gym.
So that's in the story, though. So tell us something that's
that wasn't in the story.
Oh, was it?
About my Lombok hike. But yeah. But the fact that I smoked was in there. Yes.
I need something bigger than that. I need something bigger than a hike.
I don't know. Let me have a little think. Why don't we talk a little bit about your story?
All right. I think my story's been put out there a bit, but people see me now, and it's not meant to be arrogant, but. Look okay. And I still have my doubts. How often do I ask you if I look chubby?
Almost every day.
And that comes from a place of you struggle your whole life to not be chubby. Like my, stepmother who tends to exaggerate all stories, but she'll say this is a common story. I don't think this was, it was kind of in my bio, but she'll always bring up, she'll come here. Let me tell you this. Jason used to have a touch of anorexia. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And she's
I like the way that she puts it, though. A touch.
A touch. He had a touch. It's not like you can have a touch. So he had a touch of anorexia. And I'm like, Beej, her name is Barbara Jean, we call her Beej. I didn't have anorexia, but I was trying to make weight for wrestling, so I wouldn't eat. And I didn't realize at the time, but I was, miserable to be around. I had 2 sisters, and I would just give them hell when they were eating. Not because they were eating poorly or bad, but because I was jealous. And it definitely messed up my relationship with food to the point where, I think something that's not understood is we still have our struggles. Mm-hmm. We talked about it in our story on Instagram the other day, and I was talking about it, on a phone call. But and I just think about it, like I get anxious almost every day when it comes to food because it's this thing that I love at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where you know me, like I'll put off my favorite foods to the last. We're on a phone call till nearly 11 o'clock last night, and I didn't eat my pierogies until after that.
Yeah.
Because it's like that has to be my last thing, and I still get lost in that mindset of I'm gonna get food tomorrow.
Yeah, and that is something I remind myself of every day. Like as I'm eating that last mouthful of ice cream, and I'm starting to get a little bit sad that I have no macros left, I just take a deep breath and think, it's bedtime, and I have more macros tomorrow. I'm gonna have more ice cream tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
And I get to sleep next to the man of my dream.
And that too. That gets
What
me.
about
That's what I'm mainly excited
that's
about.
what, right. What about Monday night? I had a very long day. Came home from Oklahoma, delays on delays. Exhausted, hadn't slept well all weekend, and I finished my food.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to the cupboard.
Mm.
Done with my numbers. At triple zeros, mind you.
And I knew. Like, you didn't say. But
I was done. Yeah, you can tell when I'm done because, like, it's a while before I grab more. Like, it's like at nighttime, I'm eating until I'm done eating. Like, there's no pause, break.
And also, you usually get all your food out in front of you so that it's all there ready.
Like a king.
A king about to feast. And
make me laugh, Roz.
Then methodically work your way through it, starting with the stuff that you like the least, saving your favorite thing till last.
Every time.
Every time. So I know if you get up and go to the cupboard that you're having something that you did not plan for. That doesn't mean that you are always going over your numbers, mind you, because I know sometimes you do that and then you think, I'll just leave myself a little bit of time because I might want something extra.
Yeah, but you knew Monday, you can tell.
I knew. You were tired. It'd been a long day.
So I opened the cupboard. You said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm going to have a Cadbury egg. And you said something like...
I said, those macros are high.
Yeah. And hearing that stopped me in my tracks.
And you want to know why I knew they were high?
Because you had them.
I had almost done the exact same thing.
Well, you also
the night
ate the
before.
last regular one because there was only caramel ones in there now. Did I eat the last one? I was looking for like the original kind, the white ones inside, and then
Cadbury's cream eggs. In case you don't know what we're talking about.
Right, and then there's like chocolate or caramel ones.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
But they're the big size ones.
Yeah.
Because we have the little ones.
I haven't had any of those big ones.
Oh, then I did eat them all. Because we have the little ones that are a little lower in macros.
Yeah, they're great. But they
don't taste as good.
They're not as good.
The middle stuff is not as good.
You're right.
So then you go...
So there you have it, guys. The lowdown on Cadbury's cream eggs.
The little ones are not...
great for being macro
But they're not worth it. Like, I'd rather have something else.
They're not the same.
Okay. Like, don't give me little Cadbury eggs. Just give me something else. And when I want a Cadbury egg, I want a big one.
Fair enough.
Not that you got to my mom's... I'm not saying you, but... So anyway, you go have a small one. And in that moment, from wanting that big one till that, I corrected myself, and then I got mad at you.
Yeah.
I didn't get mad, but I was like, stop it.
Don't encourage me.
I said, don't encourage me to don't encourage me to go over my numbers.
Like, what? I'm trying to appease you, give you an somewhat better option.
Yeah.
You felt the need to go over. But then you stopped yourself. You're like, no, I don't need to.
Yeah.
So, high five to you.
Give me it.
Good
Nice job.
babe.
Nice job. So I think that's kind of like what I wanted to add for us, or for me today at least, is the struggle is real. It's always real. We talked about it on the story about, relating food addiction to alcoholism and drug addiction. My buddy D, and I spoke to a good friend this morning, and he is, in the program, or however you would refer to it. He's doing amazing things in this area with helping others that are like struggling.
Really cool.
And we're gonna sit down at some point soon and kind of discuss that.
Yeah.
His name's Phil. Like he'll be happy to, I don't think it's like anonymous in the world. It's just at the meetings, but because he agreed. Like I was like, what do you think? Do you think there's a connection? Absolutely. I mean, and the premise that you and I were discussing the other day was, a lot of people have food addictions, but it's the coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay to have that was me, no different than an alcoholic or a drug addict. And I know people might hear this, but you can't compare that. Look, I'm not in danger of myself or anyone else eating a Cadbury egg. I'm not pretending that. But I don't think it's that much different than me eating that egg versus somebody having a beer that shouldn't be having a beer.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it's the way in which we manage those addictions. And obviously for something like food and, I think we were talking about sugar in the Instagram story, not such a detrimental effect as something like alcohol or drugs. So instead of completely writing it off, it's like, okay, I can still allow myself to have this. It's just, what is my behavior and my action around that reward? Is that healthy or is that unhealthy?
And you were my sponsor in that moment.
Aww.
My claim would be it's not a sugar addiction, it's a food addiction. Because it's not always a Cadbury egg. Sometimes it's like, I just want some cheese.
Yeah.
Or a burrito.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. It's not about, and I think a lot of people have a sugar addiction, but it's really beyond that. It's a food addiction.
I agree. And I think as well, your tastes evolve a little over time somewhat. Right now, like I definitely have a sweet tooth. But speaking of food addictions and speaking of my bio, something that's not in there.
All right, hit us.
So back probably around college time, just before college time, my favorite foods, like treat foods, this is like bad, ramen super noodles.
Super noodles?
The chicken flavor super noodles.
Is there a difference?
Oh my god, they taste delicious.
No, the super noodle?
Oh, it's a brand in the UK.
Okay.
So any English listeners out there will know what super noodles are. So the chicken flavor kind, I used to spoon feed them to myself with McCoy's salt and vinegar crisps. That's chips, potato chips, for you American listeners. Like, that's pretty full on, like...
Oh, wait, so you would actually scoop it
That
out.
was my spoon. I would spoon the noodles into my mouth and eat a chip at the same time. I would have this for my lunch
Get out.
with a Cornish pasty.
What's
a
that?
whole
What's
Cornish
that?
pasty. I'm trying to think what... like those patties that you've seen in Cayman? In the Caribbean, like patties.
Oh,
the
like
pasty
a...
patties that have beef or...
Like a beef patty.
Yeah.
Jamaican beef patty.
Like that, but twice as fat. Like really,
But stuffed with
really
meat?
thick pastry stuffed with meat and like veggies.
That's like classic drunk food. Were you drunk when you were eating this?
This is like my lunch. I don't know.
How often?
Between it's when I was at school.
Yeah.
Not every day, but that was me and my best friend.
Claire?
Sam, back in school, just
Okay.
before I went to college. We would bunk off school, go home to...
What does that mean?
Like skive. Is that a word?
No. You just described one word I didn't understand.
These are English...
With another word.
English words.
Like skip school?
Yeah, so like, when you get
Play
free...
hooky?
Kind of. When we would get free periods, we were supposed to stay at school.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a car, so my friend Sam and I would get in my car and go back to my house
bunk off.
and watch TV. Instead of doing our free periods
Right.
at school and doing our homework. Anyway.
So you would make those
and
noodles.
that's what we would have, yeah. We'd go to the gas station, pick up a pasty, pick up the super noodles and chips if we needed them, go home, make it up. Oh my god, it's delicious.
Did you think, like, that was okay?
No, I think at the time I knew it wasn't healthy, but I also didn't really recognize at the time that I was slowly putting on weight.
So that was before in your story. It's kind of like Star Wars, like we're dropping in different parts of the story out of order. So that was kind of before you realized you were gaining weight in your story there. And then you did, and then you changed your habits after that.
Yeah. And then I went to college, and that was good for a little bit, and then I became a bit of a party girl, and yeah, you guys know what it's like, right? Up and down, this vicious cycle. Gain 10 pounds, lose 10 pounds.
They do, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore, thanks to Own Your Eating.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Oh, wait, we got to do something exciting in this podcast.
We do?
What are we going to...
You want to call somebody?
Yeah.
All right, you got to use your phone. So we promised the other day that if you ordered our very first day before midnight, I got the list right here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. And grab your phone.
Okay.
We'll use your phone. We said, hey, we're gonna give you a call just to thank you. So let's hop on a call. If they don't pick up, we said, hey, we would just leave a message.
We'll leave a message. We'll try to get to speak to someone though.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
well, it depends. But, it's a work day. Let's try this, Emily.
Okay, what's the number?
Emily.
Oh, you probably don't want to say it out loud.
Oh yeah.
Can you type it in?
I
can't see
everyone's calling. Everyone's
Emily,
calling this Emily.
You're about to get hit up.
I just
What
fell
is
off the
that?
refrigerator. The card. Okay, her
You
name
got it?
is. Oh no, I didn't even say her name
The
right.
number you are calling does not accept unidentified calls.
Oh no.
If you are a
All right, your
listener,
calls.
please hang.
All right, let's take you off of. Do you mind? We'll take you off. Or do you want to call somebody else?
Try someone else.
Okay, let's call Ashley. Besides, that wasn't even Emily. I don't know where I got the name Emily. It was Erin. What's your thing?
What's wrong?
No, gotcha. Let's see. Who's this? Ashley? Oh, wait. I don't want to say her last name.
Oh, it's ringing.
Beginner macro video package.
Cool.
Exciting.
I hope she answers.
If not, we'll leave him. You want to talk first, or should I talk first? You
I
talk
know
first.
how much you like talking.
No, you say hi first.
Aw.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice
Wait, he's gonna
message.
say her number.
5,
We'll talk over it. We'll talk over it. You can't hear. You can't hear the number. All right, good. All right.
At the tone,
You said
please record your
record a
message.
message.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey Ashley, this is Roz.
And Jason.
And we just wanted to give you a quick call to thank you for buying our beginner macro video package and for being one of the first couple of people who bought something from our website. It's super exciting.
So thank you very much for supporting us, and good luck in your flexible eating journey.
Yeah, enjoy those videos. Bye.
All right, let's try one more. If they don't pick up, let's do. We'll just go down the list. We'll go to Jessica. One last call.
Jessica, pick up.
Well, it's like a work day, right? It is like.
Yeah, but it's almost lunchtime.
Yeah, but who knows what
Yeah.
time zone they're in?
But we probably should have checked that. They could be in Australia.
Well, I think this is. It's right near Ashley. If you see the area code.
Ooh. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is this Jessica?
This is, yes.
Hi, Jessica. It's Roz and Jason from Own Your Eating. How are you doing?
I am actually homesick today, so I'm on the couch.
Oh, well, at least you're home to pick up our call in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
My macros logging in. There's going to be saltines today.
Well, we are sorry to hear that, but we just wanted to call and thank you. We appreciate you getting our beginner macro video package.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Ashley Drake is a former client, a good friend of mine, and she's kind of has put me onto this, so I'm excited to
Very
try it
cool.
out. But on day 4, I'm
You're sick.
sick.
That's
Well,
bad luck.
I don't think it has anything to do with the macros.
No, it's actually vertigo, and I think it's from
no.
allergies. So,
Oh my gosh, I was talking to someone earlier and they were just saying how bad their allergies are too. It's that time of year.
Yeah,
so.
big time.
crazy. This is my first ever experience with this, and it's just absolutely nuts. So,
Well, rest up.
Rest up, watch some Judge Judy, and get some sleep. And hopefully, once you feel better, you start crushing the macros.
Yeah.
sounds good. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of the day. Feel better.
All right. Talk to you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye.
Bye.
Well, here
Very
we have it. First call,
Love it.
a success.
Yeah.
I think hopefully, you know what? I think we brightened her day.
I hope so.
Even though she's not feeling great, she was. She you could tell as soon as she picked up, she was either annoyed someone was calling her,
Well,
or she was tired and sick. I could
Can
tell.
I just say that that's the kind of reaction I would probably give to someone if I saw no caller ID?
Oh, I wouldn't pick up my phone.
Well, yeah, that too.
So, but I could tell, and I'm sure those watching and listening, you heard that pickup
Yeah.
in her voice. Good on us, Roz. Good on us. We are good people. So,
All right.
if you're watching still and tuned in. Check out the website, ownyourreading.com. We worked hard. Everything we did is from feedback we've gotten from our fans, our clients, our friends, our family, etc. And we look forward to doing this once a week. We're going to hopefully get every episode out on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Is that a good plan?
I think so.
And some will be on video like this. Some might not be, depending on where we are. But share this with your friends. Share this with your family. And, maybe Roz will make that ramen. And I would love a Jamaican beef patty. There was a place we used to call it the Smelly Deli. And it was right around the corner from where I lived, like in the terrible part of Albany when I was in college. And like you would drink, come home, and you would pass it, and these people owned a deli knowing they were basically selling to drunk kids all the time.
Right.
Give me a beef patty. And it was like 99 cents or whatever. So good. So good. Shout out to the Smelly Deli.
You haven't lived until you've had a proper English Cornish pasty.
Well, we'll get it next time we go to England.
Yeah.
So, and also, hey, if you're interested in having us host a seminar while we're on our road trip, hit us up on the website, ownyourreading.com. There's a little link that says host a seminar. We're going to crash at your place too, but we'll buy you a donut. So have a great rest of the day if you're listening at work or if you're on your run, whatever it is. Jason and Roz saying thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks guys. We love and appreciate all your support, and we hope to continue supporting you on your flexible eating journeys.